Good evening, everyone. This is Kate Weatherwise coming to you on February 13th, 2026. It is just after 8 p.m. on the Pacific Coast, which means it's after 11 p.m. on the East Coast. Now, tonight's weather video is going to be covering the whole country. We have a couple things going on that I've talked about throughout this week, and the system that is starting to brew in around the Texas, Oklahoma area. We'll take a look at that here in a minute by going to the radar first. But first, if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Like, comment, share, especially. That helps me out tremendously, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so right now I'm going to take us over to this is the current radar situation actually in Texas up into Oklahoma. Now we have, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, it's the very beginning portion of that low pressure system that is going to move, forming over here and then moving east and then northeast across the south and into the mid-Atlantic area, bringing weather with it. And we're going to discuss the weather that it's going to bring. First off, we have some thunderstorms. This yellow box right here, let me zoom in here around just south of Lubbock, is these thunderstorms are strong thunderstorms. They're not severe warned thunderstorms. They are strong, and they are producing some flooding rains. This one, I believe, this one's a strong thunderstorm. Actually, this one down here is a severe thunderstorm warning, yes. For hail, 1.25 inches, radar indicated. And this storm is moving to the northeast. And this strong storm up here, I believe this is a strong thunderstorm, flash flood warning, and this box is probably going to say a strong thunderstorm special weather statement, but that just means that this box over here is giving us an indication that this storm has some strong tendencies to it. It may pulse up to become a severe warned storm, but it kind of does have a little bit of a hook on it. We are in Texas. The temperatures aren't too high. This is showing in the mid and upper 50s around this area with some 60s down here to the south. But this whole area is going to continue to be a good spot for perhaps some severe weather. And there is a potential for tornadoes over here in this area tomorrow. So let's go over to another map. That this is the outlook, the SPC outlook for tomorrow. So this area, again, this green is marginal for severe weather. And then outside of that, this is just general thunderstorms over here into Arizona and a little bit into southwestern New Mexico. So marginal risk for thunderstorms, that's going on right now. And this goes until tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at what's going to happen as far as heading east on Saturday afternoon into the overnight hours into Sunday. So these are when the stronger storms are expected to fire up around East Texas into Louisiana and a little bit of portion of Mississippi. And then if we take a look at the tornado probabilities, this is a 2% or 5%. 5%, that's what the brown means, a 5% chance, which is not very high, but there is a chance for in this area. And we saw this when I showed the model run on my last video, which was on Wednesday night, of some stronger storms coming through this area Saturday afternoon into evening, and then Saturday night for over into Louisiana. So this is still a possibility for this area that I will be keeping an eye on because I keep an eye on severe weather. So I'll keep my eyes on this to see if it develops into anything more. But as we go back to the radar, you see these thunderstorms, and there's not much else going on around the country. And zoom out a little bit here. There's not a whole lot going on around the country. There's some warmer temperatures down here in South Texas and around the Gulf Coast. but as you go, even if you go down to Key West, it is just below 70 degrees, but it is pretty humid down there. So it still feels pretty warm, even though it's just 68 degrees. So the rest of the country, you have some cold temperatures, but those really, really cold temperatures have moved back up into Canada, where you see -2 all the way up in here into the deeper parts of Newfoundland and Ontario in Canada. But you come down here and temperatures are definitely warmer than they have been, especially for the upper Midwest into the Northeast. You've seen some really cold temperatures. And if we head out west, there is a winter storm watch for the Sierra Nevadas through tomorrow, or starting tomorrow. It'll turn into a warning here because you are expected to get feet of snow over here around the Sierra Nevadas starting tomorrow. And that is going to be a welcome sight for everyone, because what snow falls in the mountains, it'll help with water in the summertime when it starts to run off and melt. And then these areas closer to the coast, you're going to see some rain over the weekend too. We'll see. We'll take a look at that. And then also up in my neck of the woods in eastern Washington, I will take us out here to the Spokane, Washington radar. There is some light rain for you all. And then you head over to the Seattle area, and there was some rain today. There's still some rain going on, but it is snow in the mountains, which is good news. Snow in the mountains of Snoqualmie Pass, Stevens Pass, down in eastern Washington and Blewett Pass, and then over here in Idaho. Eventually you will see some snow over here in Lookout Pass and into western Montana. So all this is really good news. We have snow falling in the mountains again, and that's going to be the case for much of the week coming up into next weekend. There's going to be chances and snow falling each and every day somewhere in the west, if not multiple areas in the west. So that is very, very good news. Okay, so let's take us back to this is what the satellite imagery looks like with radar enhancement. As I said before, this is the rain that's coming in to the Seattle area. And then this lighter blue is snow. And that's what it's showing us in the mountains, in the Cascade Mountains. And then this is rain with a little bit of snow on the northern fringes. Where I am, the temperature's in the upper 30s. So it is just light rain. It's going to be light rain unless you want to go a little bit north. And then over here into North Idaho, especially in the higher elevations, you are seeing some snow as well. And into western Montana, you are going to get in on this snow as well. That'll be really good. And as I mentioned, this is that system that is starting to develop here, and it'll really get going tomorrow. This is just sort of like a precursor. And then tomorrow you will see it really ramp up and start to head this way. Now, to the north and to the west of that, we are seeing some snow in and around the Denver area with some rain in eastern Colorado. And then as we go over here into Missouri, we are seeing some rain as well because of those warmer temperatures. And then there is definitely some snow over here into western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. Now, with this system here, I'm going to show coming up now is the European model. What I showed yesterday, it has changed yet again for this system here that is going to develop. I'm going to advance this forward in time. And you see this low pressure. Out ahead of it was that thunderstorms that I was talking about, the severe potential for thunderstorms. And then, or the potential for severe thunderstorms, I guess I should say. And then as we go through the day, this is Saturday afternoon, that's when that low pressure system really gets moving and starts to enhance the severe weather potential over here in East Texas into Louisiana. This is about 9-10 o'clock tomorrow night, going through Louisiana and Arkansas, and then eventually into Mississippi and Alabama. So, but as it heads east, it does head into more stable air versus west. So as it moves east, it's going to eventually just be more of scattered thunderstorms. and then heavier rain with some flooding potential. But it's not going to be those severe weather chances. The severe weather chances are not going to quite be there as the system moves east. So as we go along in the day, this is Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon. And as you can see, the European model takes this low pressure system just pretty much due east, and then it pops off the coast here with some heavy rain here in eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, and also into southern Maryland, southern Delaware, into southern New Jersey. Now, this European model is showing no snow, maybe a little bit of snow. You'll be on the fringes of snow, mixed precipitation in very, very northern Maryland, but more so as you head into Pennsylvania, you're going to get some snow, a couple inches of snow, and then into central and northern New Jersey as well. And then this system heads off the coast, and there is a little bit of wind that pops up with this, but it's not too much. And the low pressure, the pressure itself is not going to be into the 900 millibars range either. So that is what is happening with the European model, which has been my go-to model this winter to forecast systems and snow and things like that. And sometimes I'll use the Canadian model. And those are the two models I'm going to be showing here in this video, because this one has sort of flip-flopped, and then it flip-flopped again, showing snow to the north. And then today, now it's showing the system going a little bit south, as I just showed here, with just maybe some snow in the fringes of the northern parts of it into Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But again, it's going to be mainly rain for everyone, and things are starting to melt. The rivers and such are starting to get that glassy top situation. So that cold air is still going to be there. That cold air could still, and I think it will, help to influence this system. Once the moisture gets there, it'll help to keep it cooler. But temperature-wise, it is going to be on the borderline of snow and or mix and or rain when you get into central and northern Maryland and northern Delaware and southern New Jersey. And once you get into Pennsylvania, then you start to hit those higher hills, and then it's going to turn to all snow. But even there, it's not going to be a lot of snow. But further south, North Carolina, Virginia, into Georgia, and places over here in the southeast into northern Florida, you are just going to see rain with embedded thunderstorms, embedded heavy rain, and it's not going to be, you don't have to worry about freezing rain or anything like that, or snow or cold temperatures behind it. We may be past that, especially for you all in this neck of the woods for the winter. It is mid-February now, and tomorrow is going to be the halfway point of February exactly. So we'll see. Now, as we traverse out here to the West Coast, and what I have been talking about for the western states, you see, I'm going to back this up a little bit. Back the model up a bit on the European model, and we see this snow that's coming into the Pacific Northwest, and the snow in the Cascade Mountains, and the rain into western Washington, and rain and snow mix in eastern Washington, and then you have some snow down into Oregon, and then we have a little bit of a break, and then we have another system coming in from the southwest on Sunday morning, and this one comes in to northern California, bringing in rain to the coast and some mixed and some snow of higher elevations of northern California, and this sort of starts a stream into the area with. And then this is when the heavier snow. So there's a winter storm watch in place, because we pretty much know, we've been advertising this is going to happen, some heavy snow in the Sierra Nevadas. And then there's going to be some snow tomorrow, but then the main player, the main part of that storm is going to come in on Monday and just dump rain all up and down the coast of California into the central valleys, and then some snow and heavy snow into the Sierra Nevadas of California. And so that is what's going to be there. And then you look into Nevada on the other side of California, you're going to get in on all that precipitation. And then it moves into all parts of Oregon and Idaho and Utah and New Mexico, and then eventually into Colorado. You guys are going to see, this is by Tuesday. Look at all this snow, and it's going to be like happy day, happy day. I know some people don't like for snow to fall, especially quote unquote this late in the winter, but this area really needs the snow, because this area is typically really dry in the summertime, and it just creates a rich environment for wildfires and for, rivers and lakes that are used as reservoirs and such. They get really low, and it hurts the water table and all kinds of stuff. So we need the snow out here. So this is really good news. I'm really happy to be reporting this. And as we go through the day on Tuesday into Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, it continues with the snow in the Sierra Nevadas. Like I said, feet of snow is going to fall into Nevada itself, into Utah, and into Colorado, into Wyoming, into Montana, into Washington, into Oregon. So this whole area, into the mountains of Arizona and New Mexico as well. And this is an interesting feature too. This one of the systems that comes through to the west, this low pressure then reforms here up into Canada, and it stretches out, and it creates a low pressure system, and out ahead of it, we see some ice, we see some snow, and we see some rain stretching from up here into Canada all the way down south, into Pennsylvania. So this whole area is going to see some snow and some ice and some rain. This is Wednesday. This is next Wednesday, February 18th, Tuesday into Wednesday. And Wednesday night as well. But going back out west, still some more snow. And I'm hoping that there's going to be feet of snow falling here in the Rockies as well, and into the mountains in Utah and the Tetons in Wyoming and the Northern Rockies in Montana. And as we continue through the day on Thursday, we see more snow falling. Then we start seeing snow falling into the Dakotas, into northern Nebraska, and then we have another system. This is through Thursday, February 19th, and this is where I'm going to end. So this low pressure system is going to come in here into Southern California. Now we are going to take a quick look at the Canadian model and what it is forecasting for this system. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. What it is saying for this system this weekend over here in the southeast and mid-Atlantic, this Canadian model takes this system way far south, and it doesn't even reach Maryland, and it's all rain. It's all rain and some thunderstorms. There's a good chance for some thunderstorms here. Now, because the SPC outlook has a 5% chance of tornadoes here, I don't believe that it is aligning with this Canadian model, because this to me says heavy rain and maybe some embedded thunderstorms, not the potential for severe weather and or possibly some tornadoes that form. So this one has been pretty steady towards the beginning of the week, and then it has really flip-flopped towards the end of the week, and so it's just kind of all over the place. And the European model has kind of been the same way, but it's not truly they're both not truly understanding all of the cold that has been coming through on the East Coast for the last 2 months, and how solid the ground is, how much ice is on all the rivers and the Chesapeake Bay and those areas all the way down into Virginia. So it'll be interesting to see where this low pressure ends up, because look, it takes it all the way and then finally it comes back north again. But by the time it gets back out, way out over the ocean, it's way south here off of the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. So that's where this one is taking that storm. So I believe it's still going to stay more closely aligned with the European model. I'm going to take us back out here. That it will give us some rain and snow and severe weather down here in the south, and snow in the northern fringes of northern Maryland into Pennsylvania and New Jersey. But it is not going to be a huge deal. It's going to, and then it's going to warm up. So whatever falls, it's going to melt quickly. It's going to come to an end quickly by Monday morning when your drive time starts, if you head out the door to go to work and things like that. So that's what we are looking at. Now, I'm going to take us really quickly. This is the blend of National Weather Service blend of models for snowfall. This has been pretty accurate, and it shows all of the snow that begins to fall here in the Cascades, into northern Idaho, northeastern Washington, into western Montana, into Colorado, and then it starts to pile up. And this is the snow that is expected to fall. Now, this is saying more snow for central and northern New Jersey, and down here in northeastern Maryland, about an inch, which that seems about right to me. And then you head further south out of central Maryland, and it's just going to be all rain. But this is still the forecast for the Sierra Nevadas. And look at all the snow that piles up, 54 inches. So we're still talking about feet of snow out here. And then it starts to snow with that one system that stretched from Canada all the way over here. That's going to bring a good bit of snow into northeastern Montana, into the Dakotas and Minnesota and Wisconsin, and points south and east from there. But this goes through the 23rd. So from today until the 23rd of February, this is what's going to look like as far as snow is concerned. So as you can see, this warmer bubble down here in the south, which is normal, it does show an inch or so of snow falling into Oklahoma by the end of this period. We'll see what happens there. I have not gone out that far with my forecasting because things always change, and I do not like to forecast out that far. I will maybe look at it and maybe talk to it a little bit, but I will never forecast out that far. And then we come over here and we have another 2 inches by the end of the period over here. And then, of course, more snow as you head into central and northern Pennsylvania, into New York, and up into New England. So this is all, I love seeing the bright oranges, 60 inches here in the Cascades, 60 inches here and the Cascades of Oregon as well, and then down into California. This is all really, really, really good news. And we have 20, 30 inches over here into the Rockies, and then all up in here. Wyoming, especially over here where this is where the national park is, that I go to all the time, but for some reason my brain is not working right now. Maybe because it's 8:30 at night and I've been working all day. But this is where the mountains are, where that national park is. And I will probably remember it as soon as I end this video, but for some reason I can't think of the name of it. I've been to it so many times. I go out this way every single year. So anyway, there's lots of mountains here, and so that area is going to see quite a bit of snow. So this is all really good news. I've been talking for 24 minutes. This is something that I will continue to update on a daily basis. But for now, this is Kate Weatherwise saying good night.